I'm absolutely delighted now to be joined by Dr. Marston Linehan from the National Cancer Institute. Dr. Linehan, thank you ever so much indeed for taking the time to talk to us today.
Happy to be here.
You're a busy fellow at this conference and we really appreciate it. Let me start off. Can you talk us through some of the most exciting developments that you're seeing in the treatment of urological cancer at the moment?
Well, it's an exciting time to be in urologic surgery. We're seeing a convergence of new technology, new imaging, sequencing technology. It's really going to make a big difference in how we manage patients. If you take kidney cancer, for example, we've shown kidney cancer. When we started working on kidney cancer 30 years ago, we thought kidney cancer was a single disease. We now know it's a number of different types of cancers that just happen to occur in the kidney. They have different histologies, different clinical course, respond differently to therapy, and are caused by different genes. And we've seen some very dramatic advances in the treatment of kidney cancer based on treating the gene that causes that kidney cancer. And just recently we heard presented Sunday here at the AUA some very exciting findings about the metabolic basis of kidney cancer. And what we now know that 13 or 14 genes cause kidney cancer, and each of those genes is involved in a different metabolic pathway. So we think that's going to provide a whole new way of thinking about this cancer and how to diagnose it and treat it. Now, Friday at the Pathways to Therapy meeting here at the AUA, we heard some incredibly exciting findings in precision medicine, okay? And that is taking a cancer for which we don't have really very good therapies. Let's take bladder cancer, for example. And there was a presentation about sequencing all the genes in bladder cancer and finding a certain kind of mutation, in this case for a pathway called mTOR. And then these doctors then found dramatic response in patients who had that mutation. So we're very excited now about the confluence of the Human Genome Project, about genomics, informatics, and this is now coming to practice. I mean, this is not theory anymore. So we're very excited about that. And we heard presentations about the same thing with prostate cancer. We know we need better ways to diagnose this cancer, better ways to treat these patients. We need to know which patients who have localized prostate cancer should be treated and which should go on active surveillance. And we heard some very exciting presentations about sequencing all the genes in prostate cancer and giving great insight on how to think about management of those cancers.
It must be a very exciting time for you because of all the work that's gone into a lot of this research to actually see such fruition, so many results coming from it.
Well, it really is. You know, when you think about it, urologic cancers are almost 25% of human cancers. And it's really sad to have patients who come to us with advanced disease and we don't have therapies that work. But I'm really optimistic about the future now.
Now, you moderated a panel here, Kidney Cancer on Sunday. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there were a number of exciting presentations at that. There were two in particular showing that clear cell kidney cancer is fundamentally a metabolic disease. Now, this work goes back, all great work, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and this work goes back to a great scientist in 1922 named Otto Warburg, who said that cancer was fundamentally metabolic. Now, even though he got the Nobel Prize for this work in the 30s, people didn't really appreciate this work until recently. And now we're finding that more and more cancers really are fundamentally metabolic. And you say, well, I'm a urologic surgeon, what does that matter to me in a way? But what it does is, it gives us a new way to think about our understanding about diagnosing and treating these cancers. It gives us a whole new approach to developing therapies for these patients. And we, for example, treat patients with very aggressive types of cancers that are very definitely metabolic, kidney cancer. And up until recently, we lost all those patients that developed metastatic disease, and now we're seeing very dramatic responses. So I'm very optimistic about the future.
We said you were a busy chap at this conference, and you also took part in what was called Research Friday. Tell us about that.
Well, Research Friday was a new initiative this year, and it was very exciting. I'm thrilled with the AUA for doing this because urologic surgery is basically a scientific discipline. And what they decided to do was have a whole day where we had excellent scientists from around the country come and talk, and it was the best scientific day I have been to at the AUA in 30 years. It was so exciting. And these people were physicians, though. I mean, they were physician scientists, so this wasn't some people studying fruit flies. This was studying prostate cancer, bladder cancer, and kidney cancer. And another thing that came out of that meeting that was so exciting was the important value of team science, people working together, because this is very complicated, I might add expensive research, but it's finally starting to come together. I have never been more optimistic about what we're going to be able to do for our patients with urologic cancers than I am now.
Final question, very much looking to the future. One of the other things that you're involved with here are the poster sessions. Poster sessions are obviously very fresh, vibrant research. How exciting is that for you?
Well, it's very exciting. The poster sessions, I learned something. I was telling one of my colleagues, I learned something at every single poster session that I go to. We learned a lot about new high-tech microRNA ways to diagnose kidney cancer, new ways to look at other genes expressed in kidney cancers, and the same thing for bladder cancer and prostate cancer. My problem with the poster sessions is deciding which ones to go to, because I want to go to all of them. But it's an exciting time for our field, and we have many surgeons who are physician scientists, and that's what's going to make the difference for the future.
Thank you ever so much indeed for talking to us today. Really fascinating.
It was great being here. Thank you.